ACCUSTATS Video Productions presents from Reno, Nevada, the 23rd Annual Reno Open. Along with good-looking Jimmy Wetch, I'm Bill Incardona, and tonight we're going to bring you Buddy Hall and Rodney Morris. This tournament started today with 58 of the world's finest players. We are down to just 8. There are 4 left on the undefeated side, and there are 4 on the defeated side. The match we're going to be watching this evening between Hall and Morris, 2 of the 4 undefeated players. The other 2 players that are undefeated are Tony Robles and Nick Barner. Now, you've been playing on the tour now for about 3 years. Is that right, Jimmy?
Yeah, this is my 3rd year.
Now, you've played Buddy and you've played Rodney Morris. Of the 2 players, which of these 2 players gives you the most problems?
Well, to tell you the truth, I've never played Rodney in a tournament yet.
No?
No, I've played Buddy a few times. I've played him 4 times, and I've had a good record against him, but he's probably a better player than me, but I've done well against him. I've played him 4 times and beaten him 3 times, but Rodney is obviously a great player, but I've never had to play him.
Well, both of these players right now are playing extremely well. Rodney Morris defeated Archer in his that wasn't his last match, but he defeated Archer 11 games to 9 to put himself in
corner
this
ball
position.
went flying right in.
And that's unusual too, Jimmy, because on this table, the feature table, there hasn't been much success in breaking the balls, particularly the corner ball.
No. Last round, Johnny Archer broke the balls 9 times and made a ball in the break twice.
But yet he still won. He defeated Efren Reyes of all people. What a match that was. If you people out there that are listening to us, if you haven't heard about that match between Reyes and Archer, call Pat at 800-828-0397 and ask him about it. That's a match that you really can't afford to miss. In the meantime, look at the balls, the way they lie on the table, Jimmy. The 2 in the center of the table, the 3 to the right of the foot spot, the 4 at the other end of the table near the side cushion, the 7 and 8 near the right-hand side pocket. I don't see any problems out here.
No. Nothing's touching the railer, and seems to be in perfect line right now.
He would like to float down and play position for the 3 in the lower left-hand corner.
Drew it a little too much there.
No, it looks like he's on the angle of a scratch. If he decides to pocket the ball in the lower left-hand corner, he might be able to follow it possibly, or maybe draw it out of that scratch. Let's take a look and see what he opts to do here. Excellent shot maker, very quickly, a fast-paced player. Notice the position of the 7 in relation to the 8 and the position of the 5. Would you rather play the 5 and cutting it to the left, or cutting it to the right and going cross table to gain position for the 7?
I like to come across. I would have tried to come farther to come to the side rail and then come at it, because then you're just staying in position line there unless you happen to run into 8.
Right, there's no chance of you getting hooked.
This one here, you're staying a little further away from it.
And you bypass your angle quickly.
Right.
If you choose to cut the ball to the right, that means you're on that good angle that you want to be on into all the way up to the ball. But
seems to be hitting the balls pretty clean though.
He has been hitting the balls very cleanly throughout the entire tournament. This is game number 1. Morris at the table. And it looks like he's going to pocket the 9 and capture game number 1 and take a 1-0 lead in the match.
Rodney finished 5th on the tour last year and a couple of times got 2nd place. He's probably due this year to win a tournament, and he seems to be playing better than anybody in this tournament. Maybe this will be the one.
Maybe it will be the one. You never can tell.
He got 2nd last tournament here against Johnny Archer, so
yeah, that's right.
He has got some luck here.
Well, not only does he have some luck here, he has some confidence here. After you finish high in a certain area, you feel good about playing in that area because you feel that you have support.
Well, what happened to me then, buddy? I got 5th here last time and didn't get in the money this tournament.
What happened? You got 5th last time?
Yeah, and didn't get in the money this time.
Well, you must not have made enough balls. You got to make balls if you expect to win. Okay, let's take a look at Rodney as he prepares to break the balls in game number 2. Keep in mind, this table has been very stingy in giving up balls on the break. Not so in the first rack. Morris pocketing the corner ball, a ball that really hasn't been pocketed that often.
Ever made balls kind of a little pop break, and that seems to be what Rodney's doing. Hey. This table here seems to be playing tighter than the rest of them too.
Well, right away you see what Buddy has the option to. It looks like he has the option of coming off the left side of the 1, repositioning the cue ball somewhere in the area of the 2 behind the 9, or he can go. Well, that's probably his only shot, considering the position of the 2 near the bottom cushion. So
there's no offense shot here with getting position on the 2 ball.
So he's going to cross the 1 over the other side of the table and hopes to get him behind the 9.
Wow, he really went.
Well, he went to the whip there. I don't know about that shot. That seemed to have been.
That's uncharacteristic of Buddy Hall, I think. There.
Yeah, absolutely, he went to the whip there, and I didn't like the shot, and evidently he doesn't like it now. That's for sure. Sitting in the chair, as Morris steps back to the table with a 1-game lead and control of the table. The angle that he has on the 1 ball suggests that if he pockets the 1 ball in the right-hand side of the upper left-hand corner, he can draw the cue ball down the left side of the table and end up in pretty good line for the 2, which is positioned near the bottom cushion. Well, he didn't really sacrifice the accuracy of the shot much, but of course he did get the lucky kiss off the 4, put him right in line for the 2, Jimmy.
Yeah, I didn't see that.
The 3's positioned near on the side cushion actually. The 4 is the ball in the center of the table.
Looks like he's going to have to draw to the side rail and go down to the end rail for position here.
Yeah, it's sort of like, it looks like a haphazard shot, but it's available. It's the only accessible route to the 3, so go for it.
Gets to stay loose shooting it that way, that's for sure.
And he's not opposed to shooting shots like that because he has a big stroke and he lets it out, and that was a good time for him to let out of the stroke. So
looks pretty comfortable, don't he, Billy? But he usually does.
Yeah. Now the angle that he really needs here is either straight in or an angle where he just would like to cut the ball to the left, or excuse me, cut it to the right. Or left. So he either stops the cue ball where the 4 is now or follows. He doesn't want to come back.
Coming back a little bit.
You like this, so he hits the end rail and back up.
And now he can just come somewhere a little bit past the middle of the table and has perfect angle to come back down for the 7 off the 6. That's what he's looking at.
I think he's got himself rather awkwardly here because the 2 rail position spinning with inside English, I don't think that looks that appealing. I myself would have rather had a finer cut on the 6 playing the natural 1 rail angle. Now he has to be concerned about the speed of the shot somewhat. He's ended up on the bottom cushion, and now he's found himself with a problem here, Jimmy.
That's pretty natural there. Go to the side rail a little bit before the side to the end rail and back on top of the 8. Looks like you can do.
Well, it looks like they should have come awfully close to the 8 on this shot.
No, there he is. Nice angle to come back to the side rail. And there's the side rail for you, perfect position.
And there's game number 2 on Rocket side. So it's the Rocket 2. Buddy Hall has yet to win a game. Must be nice to have a big break like Rodney. I really don't know because I don't really put many balls down on the break. I played Tony L in my last match, and he ran 5 consecutive racks. There's
Bucktooth.
Yeah, there's Bucktooth. Richard Cook comes with wads of money in his pocket all the time, looking to gamble high. I wish someone would take him off. I'd like to see his expression. See them tears coming from his eyes. One ball. No, not this time. No shot for Hall.
Well, Rodney made a ball in the break the first game and had a road map, and the next two he hasn't made a ball in the break and hasn't got a shot. That's kind of been the tempo so far.
Yeah, sometimes the balls just don't like you. Sometimes they do. You know about that, don't you?
Sure do.
Buddy really has a problem here. You know, when you look where to push, there really isn't really many places you can push because the balls have the one ball surrounded, the 3, 4, and 6. You could pocket the 3 and try to position the cue ball very closely to the 1. You know, I mean, that Buddy's going to walk away with the worst of it from this position.
Right.
So you got to try to figure out what position can you leave Rodney in that you won't walk away with really that much the worst of it, because you figure to be kicking when you come back to the table.
Well, in tough situations, a lot of the top professionals will push out for some sort of a kick shot because you can't hardly give players any shot to see it because they play either real good offense or know all the safety shots.
He's got to pocket the 3 here. I think that's his only out because he really can't do anything else. He's got to pocket the 3.
Well, it looks like he might be trying to get where he can stop the 1 cue ball off the 1, and hopefully the 1 will come shooting out of there in a lucky kind of way. You never know what it's going to do off the 3 ball. If he does get out of there, he will be hooked.
Well, he went with a follow, and when you do that, you have to be really concerned about the scratch, which evidently he wasn't, and that's quite.
Well, I think he might have been, but Billy in that spot, but he had to just try and make something happen the way that it was laying, and hope that it went his way.
Yeah, he was really locked up from that position. Tony Allen playing Japanese man by the name of Takahashi. Tony Allen's playing very well, and he's breaking the ball super. Archer playing Leonardo Ondom on the adjacent table. As I mentioned earlier in the telecast, Archer playing a great match against Reyes, and it was a draining match. I wouldn't be surprised to see Leonardo Ondom beat Archer because of the match that Archer just played with Reyes. He's really drained right now. Not that Ondom isn't capable, but I just think he has a better chance now. In the meantime, Morris is back at the table with a 2-0 lead and looking to extend it to 3-0. Nothing much he can do here. I don't think he can go around the edge. He's gonna have to probably stay in front of it, go across table, and just take a longer shot on the 7.
Right.
Which isn't all that bad, especially
pull it back a little bit and get a little angle there. And now get the cue ball back to pretty much where it is.
Rodney's playing with so much confidence. You can just see it coming from him when he's at the table, you know? I mean, he's just playing with a high level of confidence right now. Game number 3 goes to Morris. He now leads in the match by the score of 3-0. And he's broken the balls 3 times, pocketing balls on the break only once, but the other 2 times he failed to pocket a ball on the break. Hall didn't have anything to shoot at.
The other thing good going for Rodney is he's a rhythm player, and he's got to start out with an easy shot every time, which will keep his rhythm going.
And there goes the cue ball. Okay, Buddy will finally come to the table with a legitimate opportunity to do something with. Now, the 9-ball finally coming to rest near the side pocket. That complicates matters somewhat because the rest of the balls are spread fairly nicely on the table. Notice I mentioned fairly nicely because they're not really spread around the table. They all seem to be in the center of the table. And this is going to be a real nice rack for us to watch Buddy execute because of his ability to get around balls.
Right. He won't make the cue ball move much.
2 in the side, and he's going to have to play the 3 in the upper right-hand corner. He really can't attain a straight shot on the 3, so he's going to have to settle for an angle on the 3. And he's going to have to work the cue ball probably back and shoot the 4 in the same pocket he pockets the 3 in. Or he could follow it and play the 4 on the side. He has that option. But I think he feels more comfortable forcing it and playing the 4 in the same pocket because he can let his stroke out that way, and then it'll probably be a little easier for him to pocket a 3 in that fashion.
Right.
Keep in mind, he hasn't really been at the table often because Rodney leads in the match 3-0. He's been the player at the table.
Well, he stroked that shot smoothly still. We're not getting to shoot much.
He could have afforded a little more of an angle, and he's pretty straight on the 5. But the 5's so close to the corner pocket, he can cheat the pocket, and he doesn't have to hit it that hard. Hit a full ball. I think the natural angle will take control of the cue ball. He'll give it a natural spin off of the contacting of the 5. He's found himself in reasonable line on the 6.
I think Buddy will try and bump that 9 a little here, since the 7 is laying on the side there pretty good.
Do you think, or do you think he'll just draw it back past the 9? Or maybe he will go into the 9 because of the angle that I see now. It looks like he's almost forced to go somewhere near the 9.
You can make this pocket the 6 and bump the 9 out, and then the 7's sitting right there, and 7 and 8 are sitting real nice. There won't be no more problems to the rack.
He bumped it all right, bumped it right in front of the side.
Right. Now he'll come 2 rails, and cue ball will probably be real close to this head spot there, where they racked the 1 ball.
Speed is very crucial on this shot, providing that we see the angle correctly. 2 cushions, and he'll go 2 cushions right around the foot spot.
But he usually doesn't have a problem with the speed. Well, we have ourselves a match here again. 4-0 is a pretty good lead with a guy like Rodney going to 11.
3-1's not that big.
No.
So after game number 4, Hall finally does get on the scoreboard, trailing in the match by 2 games, 3 games to 1. Now we're going to have an opportunity to watch Hall break the balls. Now, Hall doesn't break the balls as nearly as hard with the velocity that Morris does, but what he has going for him is that the players that have been playing on the feature table, the ones with this, if you will, subpar breaks, have been pocketing more balls on this table because you don't really need to break the balls hard on this table to get good action. At least that's what's been proven in the past. Let's see if it holds up.
No, but I tell you the truth, overall I think I'd still rather have Buddy Hall's breaking from the what do you call it,
the box area?
The box area that we have now, because he controls the cue ball real well and hits them real solid, and I don't think really there is that much difference between how hard each one of them hits them.
Notice the box area, the outline of the box. Okay, he didn't hit him hard, and he hasn't come up with a ball on the break. The 8 ball may have gotten in front of the 1, precluding Rodney from pocketing the 1 in the upper right-hand corner.
No, everything's going there, looks like.
By the way, Wetch, the man to my right, I kind of like patterns his game off of Hall and technical players, technicians like Hall, because Jimmy runs the balls extremely well. He plays good patterns, and he's really an advocate of the correct way to play the game, opposed to just getting up there and making shots. So if he seems biased for some reason, I just wanted to make it obvious to you why he seems that way. The 5 and the 7 seem to be rather closely together. I don't know if there's a room in between the 5 and the 7 for him to pocket the 5 in the lower left-hand corner. If there's not, the 4 is right there. But by the way he shot the 3, certainly is an indication that the 5 will pass.
Well, that was a finesse shot there. That's one thing good about Rodney's game. He's got power and finesse.
You know, he can draw this ball around the 9 if he wants to. You know, if he's afraid of the cue ball getting away from him, which it didn't. He hit it very nicely. He's shooting extremely straight with a lot of confidence. So if Hall expects to win here, he's going to have to put balls down on the break and strings and racks.
Right. The lead's getting pretty good here already, and doesn't look like Rodney's going to make a mistake this rack. He came a little short there, but he's still all right.
Yep. This shouldn't present much of a problem for Rodney. Excellent shot maker, close to the ball. Young, good eyes, good nerves, solid stance, good mechanics. No problem. Game number 5 goes to Morris. Now leads in the match by 3 games, 4 games to 1.
Right.
So Hall really didn't get what he earned or get what he tried to earn off the break a ball. He came out dry. Morris stepped to the table and ran the rack. Quick review of what's happening on the tournament floor and the other match between the 2 undefeated players, Tony Robles and Nick Varner. Varner with a 3-1 advantage. Johnny Archer holds a 2-1 advantage against Leonardo Ondom. Tony Ellen and Takahashi. Takahashi with a lead of 3 games to 2. And there you have it. Those are our 8 remaining players. Almost scratching in the side, but did not. Did not make a ball on the break and has left Hall a shot. But the problem at hand is not pocketing the 1, it's coming up with a shot for the 2. Notice the 3 ball, it blocks the upper right-hand corner for the 2. And considering the position of both the one ball and the cue ball, he really doesn't have any options other than to play position for the 2 in the upper right-hand corner. The 3 precludes him from doing that. What do you do here, Jimmy? Do you play position for the 2 ball cross side?
Yeah, I like just rolling the 1 in and banking 2 ball cross side.
If he's able to roll the 1 in, which he has to roll it very softly to hold the angle for the bank, he's using inside English, and by using inside English, he sacrificed a little bit of the accuracy of the shot, this time too much. Morris steps back to the table. He has a 4-1 lead in the match. Hall sits in his chair. He's talking to some of the bystanders. Doesn't seem very comfortable out there.
No, he doesn't. But he has, he didn't do very well last year when he played on the tour, and he didn't even make all of our events, so this is new for him again for quite some time. So
Morris wasting little time, pocketing the 1, playing position for the 2 cross side. Little off angle, so he'll have to hold it up. With his stroke, shouldn't be any problem. The 4 ball's positioned underneath the foot spot. He's going to have to stretch a little bit for this shot being left-handed, or he's going to have to go with his opposite hand. Is he ambidextrous? I don't know. I've never seen him shoot with his opposite hand. Evidently, he doesn't like it. He's trying to stretch. He can't make it that way. It looks like he's going for the bridge. He can play this 2 ways. He can draw it straight back, or he can force it off the side cushion. So he played it on the 50-yard line.
he didn't drop very well.
And that's one of the reasons why he was reluctant to use the bridge.
Right.
Because he's not really proficient with the bridge,
Came out.
which is evidenced on that shot.
Right. He would have liked to have been a lot closer to the side pocket where he could have just followed it and come 1 rail up.
Now we're going to see him thinly cut the 4 into lower right-hand corner, applying low right English on the cue ball. Very nicely done. He's really, really playing well, and his shot-making ability sure is showing up in this match up to this point.
It's going to come out to about the middle of the table here, and I don't like the way he played that rack.
Now he's probably going to go twice cross table because he's got an off angle on the 6. He wants to get closer to the 7. Or maybe he'll just try to just finesse it back.
I really don't like his shot selection this game. Do you, Billy?
Well, he's farther away from the 7 than he wanted to be. By going twice cross table, brings him release another foot, and have closer to the 7. He opted to play this shot, and he really didn't hit it that well. But he got a pretty good kiss off the 9. He's in reasonable line for the 8. I look for him to finesse this shot, cutting it in, controlling the cue ball somewhere in the center of the table for the 9 on the side. Though Mike Siegel, he may shoot this shot using 4 cushion position for the 9, who knows. But he likes to shoot shots like that. Rodney Morris obviously went to the same school, using 4 rail position for the 9 ball in the corner pocket. Looks like he's landed on the 50-yard line, undecided whether he'll shoot it in the corner or the side. It's a matter of preference sometimes, depending on the angle. No problem. Game number 6 goes to Morris, who now extends his lead in the match by 5 games to 1. Well, Hall had an opportunity that rack, Jimmy, on the 1 ball. He may have really been a little too hasty in his decision in shooting the shot with inside English.
Right.
I thought he should have perhaps taken a little more time. But he is a deliberate player. I was kind of surprised to see him shoot so quickly.
Right. And usually, most players, if their cue ball is real close to the rail, which his was, they wouldn't load the cue ball up like he did. That's another reason I was surprised.
But he felt really good about his position coming into this match. And when you get to the age that Buddy is, you really need a little extra, you got to build yourself up a little bit. You got to psych yourself up to play in matches like this. Buddy needed to do that to himself, and but he did feel good about his position, and he was playing well going into this match. Morris pocketing a ball on the break, coming up with a real nice shot on the 1 with a nice angle. This is a nice 2-rail angle. He'll just follow the ball 2 cushions and come somewhere out about 3/4 of the way across table. 1, 2, 3/4 of the way across table. Nice angle, the 3 ball position to the right of the foot spot, the 5 ball to the left of the foot spot. He would like to attain a fairly straightened shot on the 3. 6 ball at the other end of the table.
Well, he's getting another routine out here, Billy. We're going Rodney's way, but he's playing well.
That's right. You never can tell how the balls are going to roll. Most importantly, whatever's offered to you, though, you have to do your best to get out. He certainly has done his best, because I don't believe he's missed the ball.
He's sometimes like this position here, this is what gets Rodney in trouble, if anything. His cue ball is traveling a lot more than it needs to, and that 6 ball was a lot tougher shot than he should have had to shoot. And sometimes in big matches or in a close score, them kind of shots will get you. But there is no problems for Rodney tonight or this tournament so far.
That's the way I see it, too. Game number 7 goes to Morris, who now continues his assault against Hall, now leading in the match by the score of 6 games to 1, and it definitely looks like it's all Morris tonight.
Right.
It's hard to play against a player that plays flawlessly, especially if you're a bit nervous to begin with. Let's take a look at the 9. The 9's looking, well, it wasn't going to get the kiss that it needed to go into the pocket. Now quickly look at the table. The 4 does not pass the 6, so therefore no easy out here. 2 ball position on the left side of the table, but I believe the 1 can pass it. The 3 to the right of the 1. Buddy's saying to himself, let's get this expression, Pat and Rick. Look at his face. He's kind of disgusted. He doesn't like what's happening. He knows he deserves better than this. He's trying hard. Give him a break. Hitting it roughly, but nevertheless, in spite of it, it fell in.
So Pat, what is his ACCUSTATS number at right now?
Buddy drawing the cue ball back in hopes to gain the angle on the 3 where he can do something with that 4-6, that little clump on the right side of the table. It looks like he's in fairly reasonable line on the 3 to do something with the 4-6, Jimmy.
Right. Probably try and bump the 4 here. If he gets a nice kiss, it'd be...
Softly, though.
There
softly.
It is.
Now, that's textbook right there. Absolutely perfectly executed. Now, that's a type of a Buddy Hall shot right there that the people have come to see. And it looks like he's gotten a little awkward on the 4 in terms of his ability to play position for a pocket. It looks like that he has to spin or draw cross table playing position for the 5 in the lower left-hand corner. Nope, lower right-hand corner. I don't think he can get it up that high that quickly. Very nicely done. Once again, it looks like he's on a bad angle.
Yeah.
Things just aren't coming easy for Hall right now, and it shows in his expression.
A little farther than he'd want it, but he'll come to the end rail and go to the second rail.
He should apply no English on this shot if he goes forward.
He's drawing it. I know.
No English, and a perfectly executed shot once again. Now he's finally in line because he has options here. He can just sacrifice the pocket somewhat, cheat the pocket, play position for the 7 in the side. Or he can just follow it down an inch or 2 and play position for the 7 in the upper corner, or he can force it over, playing position for the 7 in the opposite side. He opts to go for the corner. Little off angle, hopefully not disturbing enough to allow him to miss the ball. This is a rack he desperately needs, Jimmy. He'll afford to fall any further behind than he already is. And a miss here would really give Rodney the confidence to go on and defeat Hall easily. Not that he needs any more confidence than he already has. Pocketing of the 9, Hall will now come to within 4 games of the lead, 6 games to 2, and it was a well-deserved win on this particular match because he played this match really well in separating the 4 from the 6 and also running the remaining balls on the table from that position. It wasn't easy, but he made it look fairly easy. Only a man with the skills of Buddy Hall could make a rack like that look as easy as he did.
Well, that might help his confidence a little if he can get something going on the break here. He made a tough shot on the 1 and an obvious tough breakout on the 4 there to give him a run out.
I don't think he's touching the 3 or the 5. Is it catching?
Nick Varner ahead of Tony Robles 5 games to 3. Takahashi and Ellen 4-3 Takahashi. Archer 4-2 over Ondom. Hall trails 6 games to 2 in the feature. Breaking from dead center table. Hit the side of the 1. He played to hit the side of the 1, by the way. Pocketing a ball on the break, but he hasn't come up with a shot. Oh, I spoke too soon. The 6 ball bumped the cue ball to the left of the 8, possibly enough to allow him to pocket the 1. The 2 balls positioned underneath the 9, near the lower left-hand corner. 3 balls positioned close to the side pocket. The 4 near the right-hand cushion, frozen on the cushion. Even if he's able to pocket the 1, this is not an easy out considering the position of the 1, 2, and the 3. If he pockets the 1, he's going to have to draw the cue ball down the left side of the table, playing position for the 2 in the lower right-hand corner.
Well, he made a nice shot there, didn't he, Billy?
He certainly did. I mean, look at the placement of the cue ball. That's absolutely fantastic. Now he's got another problem. The 9 precludes him from going with the inside English, going toward the 3 in that fashion. The 3 is positioned very awkwardly near the side pocket. Only one real accessible pocket, the upper right-hand corner. He's got his hands full right here. I mean, how do you get out from positions like he started out in? He made a great shot to begin the rack. Now he's found himself with a pretty good shot on the 2, but not really an accessible route to the 3.
Right.
I mean, do you just go ahead and apply inside English and play just on top of the 9 and take the thin cut on the 3? Huh? Do you go ahead?
Yeah, even the 6 is in the way to play the cross-side bank.
Do you load it up with inside and hope it maybe brush the 9 and go to the cushion?
Looks like that might be what he's doing. There it is.
Well, if you don't brush the 9, he might get a shot.
There you go.
Well, there's nothing wrong with that. Had he hit the 9, he would have gone to the cushion. By not hitting the 9, he hit the 5, pushed the 5 out of the way for the 3, but in the way for the 4. Now he has to control the cue ball. He has to get it across table far enough so the 5 won't be an interfering ball in pocketing the 4.
Perfect line. Just spin this ball in the hole and shoot the 5 up in the top corner.
Now we have a matter of preference here. Some players like to go 3 cushions around, some like to go twice cross table. I think Buddy's going to go twice cross table, but he has to be concerned about the scratch in the other side pocket. He's overly concerned about the scratch. Looks like he's going 3 cushions. By going 3 cushions, he takes away that scratch possibility. Really doesn't like the results, but very workable, very workable. Buddy's a perfectionist when he plays pool, and he likes to be in line all the time. But that doesn't mean that if he gets out of line a little bit, he can't be resilient and come back and pocket the ball, because he certainly can do that too. Once again, he shows us his resiliency, pocketing the 5 and putting the cue ball in perfect line for the 6. So, Jimmy, what we're seeing here is a little momentum swing.
Right.
It was 6-1 Morris, everything going Morris's way. Now, all of a sudden, just a few minutes later, it's a 6-3 match, providing that Hall can put down the 8 and the 9 here. Ooh. Went way to the outside of the pocket, a little too close for me, let alone for him. I'm sure he would have got a little nervous after he hit that ball. So game number 9 goes to Hall. He trails in the match now by only 3 games. 6 games to 3.
Well, I hope he hits the ball a little harder this time. He should. But he did make a ball in the break, didn't he?
Oh, yes, he certainly did. And that's what he has to do against Morris, because it doesn't look like Morris is going to miss too much. Matter of fact, in 9 games, every time Morris has been at the table, he's run out. Every time he's had a shot, he's run out. He hasn't missed the ball. The only error that he's made was he scratched on the break.
Right.
So if I was Hall, I'd say to myself, hey, this guy's playing flawless pool, yet I only trail by 3 games. I can still win.
Right.
Buddy's inspecting the rack. Something about the rack he doesn't like, but he seems like kind of like, you know, apprehensive about calling Morris over to re-rack them.
Buddy's pretty picky on the rack.
Hey, when Buddy plays for his dough, he's pretty picky about a lot of things. The rule that I would like to see that the Professional Billiard Tour adopt is the rack them yourself rule. Right. I feel that if you rack your own balls, there can't be any complaints. Naturally, the supervision will be from your opponent if you rack your own balls. If he doesn't like the way you push him up, he can say re-rack him. But who's not going to like the way you push him up if you push him up and everything's frozen? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I like that.
You know, I don't understand why they haven't gone to that rule. I think it's a great rule. It stops all this.
Right.
You see? Now, this is not really appealing. And in matter of fact, it's downright ugly to the spectators and to the viewers. No one wants to see time being held up, the match being held up, because you can't rack the balls. When racking the balls is really a simple procedure.
Right.
All you got to do is throw them on the table, throw the wooden triangle around them, put them in a diamond shape, push them up there, freeze them, and lift the rack. I bet I can do it right now.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
But for some reason, when you rack someone else's balls, you have a problem doing it.
Right.
To rack your own.
Unfortunately, sometimes players are real picky with the rack just to try and disturb or break rhythm of the other player too.
We're just having trouble with the 2 and 8 rows.
Well, Rodney wasn't going to allow Buddy to upset him any more than he already has, so he asked the tournament director if he would come down and rack the balls. That's good enough for Rodney. It should be good enough for Hall. You're not allowed to pound on the balls now. That's a penalty. You're not allowed to pound on the balls. That's a rule. And there's a 2-game penalty for doing that.
Right.
Which obviously wasn't enforced for whatever reason.
Tournament director can do it.
But the tournament director didn't do it. Buddy did it. Excuse me. Notice when I mentioned to you that he played breaking the balls, like hitting the side of the one going cross table, he did it again.
Mm-hmm. I don't like the break Buddy's using. It's a little bit too soft.
And I really think it's haphazard also by allowing the cue ball to move so freely.
Right. Some players that do that, that's something I haven't been able to do, because like in the last couple situations where he hasn't made a ball and I broke him soft, it just feels like I didn't give it my all, and I just can't get myself to break him soft. He made a nice shot again, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He hit the 7. I don't know if it's, no, the cue ball went behind the 7, Jimmy.
Right. There's definitely a momentum swing here.
Morris going airborne here over the 7.
Ooh, you hit that good.
Able to hit the 2, but nicely done. 2 ball coming up now, resting on the right side of the table, but with an awkward angle for pocketing it in the side and attaining a shot on the 3, which is positioned at the other end of the table near the upper left-hand corner. The 4 and the 9 are the 2 balls near the side cushion. That little clump you see there, and then the 5, 8, and 7 are triangle to the right of the 4, 9. 5, 8, and 7 in that order. Well, I see a path, 3 cushions in between the 8 and 9 if he chooses to shoot the 2 in the side. Oh, and he tried to hit the top part of the 9. Did you see it?
Yes.
He tried to hit the top part of the 9. Break loose the 4 from the 9,
right,
and run out. It was an excellent thought.
Right.
And really, it was an excellent attempt at it. Unfortunately, it went 3 cushions in the corner. Morris would like to split the rail in front of the 9. After hitting the 9, the cue ball then will go into the 4.
A little soft. Perfect.
Buddy very upset talking to the spectators. Something I rarely see him do. Certainly is a telltale sign he's nervous. He's been nervous all week. Everything's been bothering him, yet he's still on the winner's side.
He's had a couple of close matches, 11-10s, I think.
I think he wants this win too badly, and he's making himself a little too nervous.
Well, there's another momentum swing possibly. Let's see if Buddy can get a roll here to capture this game, as we have a match at 6-4 as opposed to 7-3.
Well, if Rodney hits the bottom part of the 5 will go up table. The cue ball will then go in between the 8 and the 7. He didn't hit enough of the bottom part of the 5, but he has hit enough of it to send it up table. He's positioned the cue ball over the 8, which compounds the difficulty of this already difficult shot. Now, if Buddy's able to cut the 5 in the corner pocket, he has to be concerned about the cue ball because that side pocket looks awfully big. So if he's able to cut it in, he can't afford to apply any outside English on it because it'll go right in the direction of the side. And cutting this in is really a big task itself. He made a great shot. I mean, he really made a good shot.
Perfect 3 rails. 4 rails.
He made a fantastic shot. And as nervous as he is, it certainly hasn't bothered his shot-making skills. At least not up to this point.
Well, even though he might be nervous, he's got a lot of years of experience.
He mishit the 6 ball slightly there. He wanted to hit the 6 ball a little more thickly than he did. He hit the edge, the outside of it more than he wanted to. He cut it to the right a little more than he wanted to, and he's ended up a little out of line on the 7.
I'll draw to the side rail and probably play the 8 in the side, possibly the corner. There he comes out, took the corner.
He's in pretty good line on the 8, even though it's off angle somewhat. He's close enough to the ball to even sacrifice the accuracy of the shot and hold the cue ball in reasonable line for the 9.
Uh-oh. Boy.
Hit it with good speed. The speed which he hit that shot with enlarges the size of that pocket. Had he hit that shot harder, he may not have gotten the ball, but that's not what happened. He hit it with the perfect pocket speed, as we refer to it as, and the ball fell for him. After game number 10, Paul trails only by 2 games in the match, 6 games to 4. Our tournament directors came over to me and he showed me something about the new policies about tapping the balls, which I can't read. Obviously, he don't know that. It's not that I can't read. I'm not an illiterate. I can't see to read. So if he would be kind enough to explain it to us so we can hear, I appreciate it. Okay, I stand corrected. Scott Smith said, he's the tournament director, he said to Buddy, go ahead and tap the balls. That, therefore, he wasn't violating any rules, and he's not supposed to be penalized.
Right. Scott Smith really is a good tournament director. It's nice to have him at all of our tournaments. He makes things fun.
Yeah, he's really a congenial person. Everyone likes Scott Smith. Much better than Pat Fleming, don't you think? Corner ball, 8 ball. A near hit on the 1-3 kiss, but
would have
not
been hooked
near enough.
anyways with the 7 ball there. And once again, the balls are laying.
Good observation. That's right. Had he got the kiss off the 3, positioning the 1 near the upper left-hand corner, the 7 ball would have came between him, between the 1 and the cue ball. He wouldn't have had a shot anyways.
One thing Buddy's got going for him here, not having a shot, is that the 2 is in a very tough position, which would be tough to run out anyways, even if Rodney does beat him to the shot.
Yeah, that's definitely a plus for Buddy, since he's hooked off of the break. Anytime that you break the balls, pocket the ball on the break, and you're hooked, you're at a disadvantage. Even though you have the luxury to push, you're still going to be at a disadvantage because you give away the option to the incoming player. Anytime you give away an option to someone, you have to be at a disadvantage. I venture to say that Buddy will be back at the table to shoot this shot. I don't see.
Yes.
I immediately see no possible offensive shot and no possible safety for this shot. So therefore, Rodney should, in my opinion, pass it back to Buddy. I like to see him pass it back to Buddy because I like to know what Buddy has in mind. Now let me see what he has in mind. And he's positioned the cue ball really closely to the side cushion. If he had cutting it in mind, well, he has to forget about that, considering the position of the cue ball.
This is a big game here. He's 6-5 here. If he tie it up.
You don't think he wants to try to position the cue ball behind the 5, do you? Hmm?
Yeah. That was a nice shot there.
Well,
another technician shot from the rifleman.
You're not kidding. The technician showed us why he's the technician. He said, listen, you're the blacksmith, I'm the technician. I'll take care of this. In the meantime, Rodney kicks at the 1, successfully hitting the 1, and the cue ball comes finally to a settle at center table. And it does look like Buddy has a shot on the 1 ball, but what's he going to do with the 2, Jimmy?
Looks like he has a nice angle to try and split the 2-5 there.
Kind of risky, if you ask me.
Oh, but sometimes you have to be aggressive in 9-ball. There isn't a good safety off that shot.
Yep.
And as long as he doesn't pull it too far, he's going to hit the 2-5 some kind of way.
If he pulls it too far and goes above the 5, or even goes into the 7, he's got a problem. Or if he goes right into the side, he's got a problem. It didn't. That wasn't a Buddy Hall type of a shot. You know, too much risk in that shot. You know, it was just too much risk. Now he's really gotten himself in a bad position. I like setting the 2 ball 1.5 cushions near the foot spot, possibly going behind the 5, hitting the rail, hitting the 5 back to the side rail and down table with the cue ball. If he can get that kind of movement from the cue ball, there's no scratch possibility. And at the same time, he'll be leaving more as a long shot. I think he tried to play the 2 on the other side of the 7. I don't think he tried to bank the 2.
Right.
He tried to play the 2 on the other side of the 7, I believe.
Right.
So therefore, he really couldn't get the kind of cue ball movement I would have liked to have gotten if I were he. So therefore, understanding that he couldn't get that, he played the 2 1 cushion cross table, using the 7 as a possible interfering ball.
Well, that was a nice shot by Rodney.
Now Rodney has left him absolutely nothing. The 2 ball is positioned behind the 7, and the 5 ball has cut off, I believe, the side rail for him to kick in that fashion.
Right. This is no easy hit. Well, I guess you can see it. Looks like he's aiming right at it. Buddy Hall's even stirred with Tony having a shot. He's a little agitated this match, isn't he?
Oh yes, he's in a very, very strange demeanor right now. He's very upset with everything. He can hit the rail by the side pocket, and he can kick it to 2 in that fashion, which he does quite nicely, but it doesn't seem like he's gotten rewarded for it. Rodney steps to the table. At one time, he was leading in the match 6-1. Now he leads in the match by the score of 6-4. So the last time he had an offensive shot, he had a 5-game lead. Now he has an offensive shot. His lead has dwindled down to only 2 games. So let's see if he can hold off the pressures that's trying to mount up on him right here and see if he can run out here. Oh, I didn't like that shot. Right, that immediately, I don't like the first shot. Immediately, the first shot seems like, don't like it.
But he doesn't mind these tough shots for some reason, but that's what I was talking about earlier. Under tough situations.
But I'm going to tell you the truth. I really shouldn't be a critic because I'm up here. He's down there. He's playing for the marbles. And I'm next to you looking for a girl.
But you know, Billy, on the serious side,
yeah,
them shots can cause you matches sometimes, shooting them tougher shots.
Is this position on your head right? Do you want it to be? Yeah, shooting tough shots can cost you matches, and I understand that about as well as anyone.
And that was not only a tough shot, but he had to stroke it a lot too, for position.
In the meantime, Morris continues on his way, taking care of business as he has since the offset of the match. So that momentum swing obviously hasn't affected his ability to run out. At least not yet. After game number 11, 7-4 Morris. Can we get you anything while you're up here joining us, Jimmy? You need anything? A little coffee, dessert?
I would like some
bottle
dessert,
of champagne?
You know that.
Looking blonde.
If I had a girl, I would like some champagne.
Oh yeah? Do you prefer redheads, blondes, brunettes? Well, you have any? You have a preference there?
Brunettes.
Brunettes. You're just a sucker for them brunettes, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, we're going to the game number 12. 7-4 Morris, breaking the points. Failing to come up with the ball on the break, Hall steps to the table with a shot. And it looks like he's going to be forced to play the cue ball to the right side of the table, playing position for the 2 in the lower left-hand corner. He would like to attain a straight-in shot or even having an angle to cut the 2 slightly to the left, considering the position of the 3 to the right of the foot spot. Wow, I didn't think he would play it like that. Did he play for the lower right-hand corner? I thought you should play for the lower left-hand corner on that shot. How about you, Jim?
Yeah, the left from where we are, right for pocket for him.
Yeah. Now he's really got to apply a good stroke of this ball to hold it if he expects to do that. Boy, he's got a good stroke, doesn't he? He's got a powerful stroke. He's got strong wrist. Strong hands. It's so important to have strong hands when you play pool. You can just muscle the cue ball and just do things with the cue ball a lot of players can't do. Buddy Hall has that ability.
He made another tough rack look pretty easy there, didn't he?
Well, I'll tell you,
he should be out here.
That shot that he just made on the 2 wasn't easy by any means. I mean, he got that cue ball to draw back quickly. And that's what you need to do. That draw came back quick and in a hurry. He just does things effortlessly. Hit it a little roughly, but still at the table. Now he'll go 1 cushion toward the 7. This is the correct way of playing this shot. All natural. Whenever something lies natural, play it. the natural way.
Buddy Hall's making quick work of Van Dam over on the joining table.
You mean Johnny Archer?
Or yeah, Johnny Archer.
10-5 Archer. That's the first time I've seen him draw the cue ball or follow or whatever and throw himself a little bit out of line on a simple shot, that is.
Right.
Or at least a shot that it should have been simple to him. But to some people it wasn't all that simple, but to him it should have been because of his ability to control the cue ball as accurately as he does with regularity. This is game number 12. With the pocketing of the 9, Buddy Hall will come within 2 games of the lead. 7 games to 5, he's fighting back.
Yes, he is. Buddy Hall's another one of them players that doesn't usually give up too easy.
I don't think there's any give up in Buddy. He is a bulldog. He's always been he's always been referred to as a bulldog. Do you know he used to train pit bulls?
Is that right?
Oh,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and he is a bulldog. Trust me, he just has no quit in him, just like them pit bulls. They have no quit in them. So therefore, that's the way he plays pool. He never gives up, and that's why he's the player that he is, or that's one of the reasons. I'm not saying that's solely responsible for his credentials and his, and the way he plays, but that's one of the reasons why he's so effective, because he's relentless in his pursuit to win. Once again, just softly hitting the brake, coming up with nothing on the brake. 6 and 8 very quickly tied up at the upper left-hand corner.
I don't understand how he can keep doing that, Billy. I wouldn't have the heart to do that. Just keep breaking the balls that soft.
Oh, one other thing I forgot to mention about Buddy. He's very stubborn. But he's allowed to be stubborn, because if you're a winner, you're allowed to be opinionated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it doesn't matter who challenges you or who differs with you in opinion.
Right.
Hey, I know what I'm doing, please, I'll take care of this. You take care of your business, I'll take care of mine. After he pockets the 3, if he's able to spin it in and attain a shot on the 4, the 5 ball, especially in the position that it's in now, is positioned just about ideally to break loose the 6 from the 8, even though it's a great distance from it, because you can see the natural 2 to 4 rail angle you have coming in toward there. It's like a 3-cushion billiard player that plays into the corner.
Right.
Well, it's sitting perfectly for that type of a shot, so therefore, he really would be ill-fated if he went for that type of a shot and got hooked behind the 8.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if I were he, I'd try that unless he's on the bottom, unless he's on top of the 4 too much to attain that angle. But of course, now's not the time to think about that angle. You should have thought about that angle prior to shooting the 3. No, he's definitely off angle now. Now if he attempts to break it by drawing the cue ball up the long cushion, this could be really dangerous. He's playing position. Now he went up that end of the table before, and he looked at the kiss off of the 8, which is a very, very difficult shot, because I think there's quite a bit of distance in between the 6 and the 8, maybe a quarter of an inch or so. It's hard to judge exactly where that 6 is going to go.
Yeah, I'm very surprised at the way that he played this.
I don't like his position. Now let's take a look at the 7 in relation to the 9. Will the 7 pass the 9 in the lower left-hand corner?
No.
So that makes this shot even more ridiculous.
Right.
Well, it looks like some of the experience of Hall is starting to catch up now. It's the knowledgeable Hall against the firepower of Morris. Right now, Morris has the lead 7-5, but the experience is on the charge. Now keep in mind, I believe that's the only error. Correct me if I'm wrong, and I want to be corrected if I'm wrong. That's the only error that I've seen Rodney Morris make other than the scratch on the break. Is that correct?
I think you're right, but there might be one other one in there.
There may be another one, but considering...
But he's playing real well.
Considering how well Morris has been playing, after the pocketing of the 9 by Hall, he'll only have a 7-6 advantage.
Right.
So, where has he lost his ground? I think it's some of his
on that break.
Judgment at the table.
Rodney's ground, yeah.
Yes.
Bad judgment,
right.
2 or 3 times. Buddy Hall's won every one of them games when it's come down to experience or something to do with strategy. Well, Tony Allen and Takahashi are 6-6. Varner and Robles are 8-6. And Archer just knocked Andam out of the tournament.
Okay, down the last 2 times Buddy's broken the balls, he hasn't had any success. I look for him to change. I don't look for Buddy to go back to the same break that we watched him break with the last 2 times. I look for him to change his break.
Don't look like he's gonna. Looks like another lob break the way he's approaching it. Yep. I just don't understand it.
Well, you know, there's a good possibility that Buddy is even more stubborn than I think he is.
Yeah, but he's just not hitting it with any velocity whatsoever, and he's got to hit it with some power.
Well, using the type of break that he's using, he can't afford to hit it with velocity because he'll jump the table. He's hitting the side of the 1 ball, and if you hit the 1 ball that badly with velocity, you're going off the table.
Right.
So therefore, that is a strategically played break. That's what he's doing. But he's not getting any benefit from it. He's not being rewarded with it. I think he has to change it because this is a race to 11. It's 7-6, and time is running out.
Right.
Because, quite frankly, what got him back into this match was his ability to run the balls and come up with the right shot, coupled with the fact that Rodney made a couple poor judgment calls at the table. Not his ability to break the balls the way he's been breaking them. Come on, wake up. You got to wake up.
Right.
Here's an intelligent man, possibly the greatest 9-ball player of all time.
Right.
He's falling asleep in the breaking area. I hate to be as critical as I am.
Yeah.
Do you mind that?
Better hope Buddy don't listen to this tape. Well, there was another bad judgment.
I don't understand that. He didn't even hit it hard enough to get back down table for position for the 3. What did he have in mind?
I don't know.
Well, now we're going to have an opportunity to watch Buddy place the cue ball near the side cushion for position for the 3 in the lower right-hand corner. What he doesn't want to do, he doesn't want to drop underneath the 6 on this shot. You know? Now he's going to look to pocket the 2 in the side and follow it down in that fashion, or he could pocket the 2 in the corner and go down in that fashion. Maybe Just maybe, perhaps, he'll have better control of the cue ball and the speed of the cue ball if he chooses one of those shots.
Right.
Let's see if he picks the cue ball up and repositions it and tries to go for the side now. Now we'll take a look at it. He'll develop a feel.
I think he'll go back
it.
to using the rail.
Now he's going for the corner. Not much thought about that. He's, nah, that's just too tough of a shot. I'm going to go back to the other pocket. So at least he's given it a great try in terms of trying to figure out which pocket was best suited to play position for the 3. He's felt all the different angles. He likes this one best. And he's making sure that he doesn't get behind the 6. Okay, now this is the type of a shot that he has to follow, but he has to follow it with a stroke. After contacting the 6 should then go to the right of the cue ball the way we look at the table. He should follow through the 6, hit the bottom cushion, and back up table. But he has to put a good stroke into it. He could have put a good stroke into it. He just babied the shot. He was afraid of the shot. There was no reason for him to be afraid of the shot. He shot that shot a million times.
Right. I don't know, though, Billy. He hit that pretty firm.
I don't think so. I don't think he hit it firm.
6 ball went all the way back up table.
But the 6 ball was right in front of the 3 ball. He's going to get good contact off the cue ball because he had to cut the 3 ball.
This is a difficult shot here because the cue ball has to go to the right, and if he stuns it, there's a chance he might get hooked on the 8, and if he has to shoot this ball hard, that makes the pocket pretty small.
Can he hold it? Is there a possibility of him pocketing the 4 and holding it to the left of the 8 and accept a long shot on the 5? I don't think he can do that. He can't really run the risk of doing that either.
Then you and I both know that this pocket gets pretty small with that much distance at that speed.
If he can't hold it, the only other accessible route to the 5 is drawing it in between the side pocket and the 8 ball. Playing position for the 5 in the lower left-hand corner. So therefore he has 2 options. One is to hold it, but that carries a big penalty if he bypasses his mark. The other option is to draw it back. Oh, what a stroke. Watch out for the 9. Oh, watch out for the brush. I do believe he has cleared the 9 enough to be able to hit a portion of the 5. Whether he can hit enough of the 5, I can't tell from my vantage point.
I think that was the best shot of the tournament right there, Billy, from what I've saw.
If he can pocket the 5, he has made one fantastic shot, and at a very, very timely time.
This will tie up the match here, Billy. Unfortunately, Rodney's made some bad decisions the last couple 3 racks here, and Buddy's capitalized on every one of them.
You know, sometimes when you're a young player, you become intimidated when you're playing a player that has the ability to play the game and the knowledge like a Buddy Hall.
Right.
Especially when you do something foolish when you're at the table. Sometimes you allow that to dwell. You dwell on that, and you allow that to break your concentration. Because Rodney has had really great concentration through the entirety of this match, all with the exception of the last couple of times he's been at the table. So he's breaking down somewhere. Maybe, just maybe, he's being intimidated somewhat.
Right.
But he can't allow that to happen to him because he's a great player in his own right. Very nicely struck. Bumping the 9, coming up with a shot for the 9 in the side pocket. Buddy doesn't like to lose dignity like that. He likes to play position, and he likes to pocket the balls in the pocket that he plays position for.
Right.
He runs into the 9. He apologizes to Rodney. What are you going to do? You know, sorry. After game number 14, the match is all tied up at 7 games apiece. So at one time, we thought that Morris was a prohibited favorite, considering the way he was getting out with relative ease.
And he's taking a break.
His demeanor at the table, he just breamed with confidence. About 30 minutes later, all of a sudden, all those things have disappeared. Ronnie doesn't really show us all that confidence in his walk as he walks around the table. He's not breaming with confidence as he once did. He's more or less boggled down with negative thoughts, I think. When he goes to the table, he's using poor judgment. On the other hand, Hall, the nervous player throughout the match, seems to be more relaxed right now, but not really relaxed to the point where he's real comfortable. He's playing really great 9-ball, but he's still laboring.
Right.
What we're going to do, they went on a break, we'll take a break. How about it?
We'll take a break.
Okay, we're back in action. The players have walked back onto the tournament floor. Rodney Morris racking the balls. Buddy Hall standing by, watching, supervising, I should say. And we have a brand new game here, Jimmy, all tied up, 7 games apiece. But the only difference is
6-1.
Exactly. The only difference is that one time Morris was the one that had the lead and the momentum and the confidence.
Look at him now. He doesn't look too confident.
But in the game of 9-ball, you never can tell what's going to happen when you got 2 quality players like Morris and Hall. Now Hall is a man that brims with the confidence and has the momentum. And he decided that he wasn't going to die with something that wasn't effective. So he decided to change.
Hit him good.
He hit him good, and he didn't get rewarded. I don't know what that's going to do with his opinion on how to break him the next time he gets to the table, but at least he finally made up his mind that it wasn't working, so abandoned the boat.
Well, if Rodney can get by his combination here, there's rack sitting pretty good for him.
Well, I would do anything to pocket balls as good as Rodney. I really would.
Yeah.
I would love the pocket balls good again. I used the pocket balls pretty good years ago. But of course, we're really not here to hear me tell stories about how good I use the pocket balls, are we? Rodney Morris and Buddy Hall is the story right now, and they're tied up at 7 apiece in a very crucial match.
Well, I don't know if you want me knocking your action, Billy, but you had a good finisher at this tournament.
Well, yeah, well, it wasn't
come out of retirement.
Because it wasn't because I played well. You know.
I don't know. Well, Rodney looks pretty smooth again.
Well, Rodney, he has plenty of heart. You know that. He's got a lot of ability and a lot of heart. It's just that when the balls start getting congested and there's a lot of decision making to be made, he really doesn't have the experience that a player like Buddy Hall has, and he falls a little behind in that area. And I think he allows that to hurt him. But
he knows that about his game too, Billy. Me and Rodney are pretty good friends out here, and went out to dinner and stuff, and he has said that about his game, and that sometimes breaks him down a little bit because he feels like he shoots a little bit too fast or makes bad decisions sometimes, and he said that was something he wanted to change about his game.
Well, he'll change
at the end of last year, but
he'll change it.
Age is the only thing that's going to change that, probably, right?
That's exactly right. He'll change that, and the way he'll change that is through experiences. When he experiences certain things, he'll learn from them experiences. Sometimes it takes longer for some people than others, but eventually he'll learn. And when he learns, he's going to be extremely difficult to stop. Not that he isn't now, but of course with the additional knowledge that he's lacking, then take a look at him then.
Right. 8-7, and Buddy has a
Takahashi.
Don't look. Takahashi's going to take up another one of our Americans here.
Went ahead of Tony Ellen 10-8 after trailing 8-7. Just made the 9 in the break. Buddy Hall at the table trailing 8-7. 4 and the 6 are tied up. I wouldn't be surprised to see Buddy play the 1-9 billiard here.
Right. Yeah, he went completely after it.
Right. He went after the 1 too. So he played both balls. Okay, now we're down to a decision making again here. Let's take a look at the situation and see what he has available, if anything. Okay, now he has this available. He can follow through the 1 ball, repositioning the cue ball possibly in the area of where the 5 is.
Right.
You understand? And he can bank the 2 somewhere in the area where the 2 is. And he can hit it with some speed, because if he happens to get behind the 5, then it's gin rummy. But if he goes for the ball, you see,
there's a bad decision again.
If he goes for the ball, then he's putting all his eggs in that basket, where it was a difficult shot. He certainly wasn't a favorite with that shot. But it looks like he got a little lucky there. But once again now, you know, there's other things that you have to consider too. Even if you go after a shot like that and miss it, that doesn't mean you have to lose.
Right.
But the shot that I described was you follow through the 1 ball by hitting the 1 ball thickly, not cutting it. Follow past the 3 on the side cushion. Once you hit the side cushion, you're going toward that area where the 5 is, and if you get beneath that 5, you know, you have to like your position. And even if you don't get beneath the 5, at best you'll be leaving your opponent a long, tough shot. Narrowly missing the kick on the 1. Looks like he's left him some kind of a shot. It looks a little off angle. I don't even know if he has a shot. By the looks of Buddy's expression, it appears that he hasn't really left him an offensive shot. I don't think Rodney likes it either.
Looks like he's straight in, but the cue ball's froze on the rail there, or very close.
No, he can't make it. He's looking to kick. That was a good shot. He's gotten rewarded for it. That was a good shot. He kicked the 1 up table, and in doing so, he positioned the cue ball behind the 7. Buddy not able to hit the 1, already trails in the match 8-7. And now's not the time for things to turn around on Hall, since he's been experiencing, as of late, actually good stuff happening for him. Even though he's brought most of it on himself, he certainly has changed the momentum in this match, and now he's looking at another momentum swing.
Right. Oh. Now that was a good roll.
Takahashi, he'll be back at 9 o'clock. Clear the hand, please, for Hurricane Tony. Tony Allen, Charleston, South Carolina. Tied for 7-8. Tony, thanks, buddy.
Well, Takahashi defeated Tony Allen. Tony Allen played very, very well this tournament, I thought. Not that he beat me, and I'm saying that because he beat me, but, you know, I've been watching him play, and he's been hitting the balls really well. Rodney's in a spot here, that's for sure. You know what I like here? I like banking the 1 into the 9, elevating, trying to position the cue ball behind the 4-6.
Right.
I don't particularly care for this too much.
There was another.
You know, if you elevate, bank the 1 in the area of the 9 with speed, forcing the cue balls with the side rail back toward the 4 and the 6, I think that you had some percentages in your favor on that shot.
Well, not only could you hook them, but you will at least leave distance.
Well, that's a poor shot. That's one of the poorest shots I've seen Hall execute in this match. You know, he lost it there for a second. And this is the shot that isn't going to come easy because of the possible scratch in the side. So therefore, we might see him just come straight across table, playing position for the 3 in either one of these corner pockets. You know what I mean?
Right.
By him trying to pull this ball back, that side pocket becomes cavernous, and he understands that. I look for Hall to go straight across table here. I don't like coming straight. I don't like coming back for the 3 in the other corner. Too tough to control the cue ball. Watch out. I'll tell you what, he hit it very nicely and he got rewarded for it. Had he hit the 3, maybe ended up in the side too. But I'm not going to argue with him, and he's made a great shot. He's at the table, and if he can run the rack, he'll tie up the match at 8 games apiece.
I like him drawn to the side rail and come all the way to the end rail and up, which assures you an angle.
Well, then he can go around the 7 then, this way.
Right.
You don't have to go to the side rail. He struck
drew
it too
far.
hard. He struck it too hard.
He's got himself in trouble here because of the 5 next to the 8 like that to come down for the 6.
Looks like he's dead straight in. Okay, let's say that he is dead straight in. What do you do then?
We'll have to see exactly where he gets and what kind of angle he has.
Well, we're going to try to design a shot for a dead straight in shot here.
He's going to hop the cue ball and try and come all the way down table. And he did it. Well, what a shot.
Now what's it look like? It looks like if he follows it, he's going to brush the 8.
Right.
If he brushes the 8, it may send it 2 cushions toward the side. Or it may even send it, below the 9 and back of the 9. So he has 2 obstacles here. If he draws it, he's going to go forward. He's going to brush the 8. Watch out for the side and the 9.
He'll put extreme English on this, so when it catches that, oh.
He tried to miss the 8.
Right.
He tried to miss the 8, and he let up on his stroke.
Right.
Because if he would have pocketed the 5, he wouldn't have had enough speed to go 2 cushions down table. Okay, we're running out of tape, and Buddy's running out of time. So therefore, at the end of this rack, we're going to change the tape. That's off angle. He's going to have to play the short side of the 8 here. If he pockets the 7 in the side pocket, he has no other option other than to play position for the 8 in the upper right-hand corner. I think eventually he's going to end up making that decision, even though it doesn't appear that it's effective, so therefore he has to go with it.
That was a good shot because he doesn't have to slow roll it. He can just let his stroke out there.
He got a little flat, so he's going to have to go forwards, going 2 cushions. He won't get real close to the 9, but with his shot-making ability, well, he's got closer than I thought.
Big game there, isn't it, Billy?
Oh.
8-8 or 9-7.
Okay, we're going to change the tape now. Okay, we're back, but we missed the break. We really didn't miss much. Routine break, pocketing a ball on the break, the 3 ball. And this is the layout that he has right now. The 1 ball is adjacent to the cue ball. The 4 ball is to the right of the 1. The 3 ball is in the pocket. The 2 ball is up and to the left of the foot spot. And I don't think he has a shot here because he's going to have to play a hook or some kind of a safety.
Made a nice shot there.
Excellent shot. He cut off the bottom rail, and the only rail Buddy has to contact the 1 is the side rail, and he has to shoot over the 4 to hit that rail. I don't believe he can go to the back cushion. And after hitting the 1, he's going to have to get some movement from the cue ball. And by him having to shoot over the 4, it may be tough for him to do that. No, he can shoot and hit the bottom part of the cue ball, and that's important for him to be able to do that. That way he can get movement from the cue ball. Well, he hasn't given up any offensive shots, so he haven't suffered much of a consequence in that regard. But it looks like Rodney has control of the table, and it looks like he's going to position the cue ball behind the 6 in some fashion, like that. Well, that's pretty effective. It looks like he's behind the 6, and this kick seems a lot tougher than the last.
Well, unless he can hit that side rail, he's in trouble here. That 8 ball is surrounding the 1 kind of there.
He's looking to kick to the back cushion, but once again, the 8 ball is obscuring a part of the 1 if he goes to the back cushion. Now he's looking to masse and kick. I think that's his best shot. I think that's his best shot, and I think that's what he'll eventually end up doing.
This is a shot I've seen Efren excel at more than once. He hits that side rail and hits the other side rail, but it has English on it where it can contact the 1, where a lot of American players I haven't seen execute that shot.
This shot?
Right, it'll hit the first rail, then the second rail. You hit the first rail. Look at here.
But he says, I know, my head made a good hit, but he still got a shot. But he's quite a distance from this, and he still has to control the cue ball and pocket the 1 ball. So therefore, he has a lot of work.
He ain't missing no balls, is he?
No,
Rodney?
he's not missing. That's the thing, you know. Buddy trails by 2 games in the match, 9 games to 7. He's playing a guy that's not missing. And he's running out of time. So therefore, he really can't gain many games back through experience. He's going to have to do it by running out. But of course, time is an ally for Morris.
This is a very routine out here now after he came with that 1 ball shot. And Rodney's rhythm is back at a fast pace.
Yes, too fast for Buddy.
Table 7, Nicky Varner. He'll be back tonight at 11 o'clock in the winner's bracket finals. And Tony will be back at 9 o'clock action versus Tom.
I don't like that shot.
Well, he likes it, or else he wouldn't have executed it that way.
Well, that's a tough shot.
After Hall tying up the match at 7 games apiece, Rodney changes the momentum back to his side, winning the next 3 consecutive games, now finding himself on the hill, leading in the match 10 games to 7. He only needs 1 more game, and this will be the last time he'll have an opportunity to break the balls.
Right. Buddy took a break at 7-7, and it was to his disadvantage.
Sometimes things work out that way. There's no guarantee that what you have in your plan is going to work out that way. Now Buddy has to win 4 consecutive games. Oh, almost scratching in the side, but didn't fall, pocketing the 4 in the side pocket. Cue ball finally coming to rest behind the 6.
Well, where do you like pushing out here, Billy?
He's tying up to 3, or at least he should have tried to tie up to 3. And he's allowed Buddy at the table with a long shot on the 1. But it does have an angle to it, so therefore if Buddy's able to pocket the 1, if he applies a good solid stroke on the shot, he should come in the area of where the 5 is. Hopefully for Buddy, that is, he'll pass the 5.
You think Buddy's supposed to shoot this?
Yeah, absolutely. You can't let Morris shoot it because Morris hasn't missed a ball yet. If Buddy's going to win, he's got to take control of the table and try to win. Morris has
a pretty tough shot, though, isn't it?
But Morris has been proven that he can make balls like that. He hasn't missed anything yet. And if you're going to go down, you got to go down swinging. And that wasn't a bad shot. He's left Buddy the outside of the 2 ball. There's no question Buddy's going to try to cut the 2 in the side, into the corner pocket, swinging 2 cushions down the table for position for the 3 in the lower left-hand corner.
He does happen to make it. Looks like it's going to come right between the 6-8 there for position on the 3.
It looks like it's going to come to the right of the 6 because he's going to get a lot of spin off of that cut with the cue ball.
We get that full.
Close.
Came out nice though.
Yeah, he didn't really suffer much of a consequence in giving up an offensive shot. Not. This is a very interesting situation here. He's going to get rewarded for it. He's going in back of the 8s. No, he's cleared that. Left Buddy a shot on the 2. Nothing really that's workable because of the side pocket being there. He could make the 2, but that's not going to help him. The side pocket's going to prevent him from doing anything with the cue ball. Now he's looking at the point of the side pocket. He's saying that if I pocket the 2 at the point, will I come back in any kind of position on the table for the 3? It's the type of a shot that's haphazard, but really his options are very limited here. He tried to play position off the point.
Boy, that was
did
a
that
nice
very
shot.
nicely, but didn't pocket the 2. He hasn't allowed Morris to see the 2, and he's positioned the cue ball in an area on the table that is going to be quite difficult for him to hit the long cushion on the left side of the table and pocket the 2 in that fashion. So it looks like he's going to have to go to the other side of the table if he expects to pocket the 2. And if he goes to the other side of the table, then position becomes a real problem.
Ignacio, that's the AAA event. Have a nice hand for both these gentlemen. Dave Triana, second place. Victor Ignacio, first place. Chris McDonald, third place. That was 4,200 total first, 1,500 added, 800 first place. Victor,
I think the 5's close enough to the rail where he might not be able to get in there the way he seems to be acting.
If he's able to manage to say this,
Yep.
he'll make a good shot.
He didn't seem like he put a lot of effort into that, did it, Billy? But he's got a chance here.
I tell you, you don't play position for the 3-6 because you want to drop onto the 7 off of the 6, not off of the 5.
Right.
Dropping on the 7 off the 6 is going to be much easier than it would be to drop onto the 7 off the 5 because you really don't know where the cue ball is going to be playing position off the 3 to the 5. But regardless of where the cue ball is on the 5, you pretty much can tell that you're going to be able to attain a good angle from the 6 to the 7. So all you people out there who think that playing position for the 3-6 is an option, well, you happen to be wrong.
And I'm sure if you say it, Billy, they're wrong.
Jimmy, you're a very astute fella.
Well, we have some players in the stand there. Tony Robles and his girlfriend and Tommy Kennedy.
It would help to get close to the 6, though, but he missed the 5.
Oh my God. Wonder what would have caused him to miss that. He was on it perfect, wasn't he?
Well, he didn't take his time. That's just pure carelessness, that's all, because that shot he's never going to miss.
He shot fast.
He just was careless on that shot. He'll be the first to admit it. Now you just got to try to go through the gap of the 8 and 9. Not hitting it hard enough to go into the side. And he's found the gap between the 8 and the 9, and he looks like he's found the path to win this match. So Morris looks like certainly had the prescription for this match against Buddy Hall, that's for sure. Because he's played a flawless match in terms of pocketing balls and running out.
Right.
The only problems he experienced in this match were a few times at the table where he made poor judgment calls, judgment plays. on what to do, when to play safe and how to play safe and not to play safe, and you know, stuff like that. But other than that, Morris is definitely a major threat to win the tournament.
Yeah, we're gonna have an interview with Rodney.
Okay, we're running late, so what we need to do is wrap it up. So it's been a pleasure working with you, Jim. This is the first time we've had the pleasure of having you in the booth, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Okay, thank you, and thanks for the opportunity for experiencing this. And that was a good match there.
Yes, it certainly was.
Buddy showed a lot of experience there, but he just, maybe the age is catching up a little. Missed some balls there that he normally would miss in them situations.
That's true. That's true. Well, once again, it's been a pleasure, Jim. So on behalf of Jimmy Wetch, this is Bill Incardona saying thanks a lot for supporting ACCUSTATS. Give Pat a call, 1-800-828-0397.